Sure, yeah. No fuzzy pink house shoes, darn it. On a side note, it's beautiful outside. It'll be nice to get out and enjoy the day after this.
Well, Stephanie, I think we could probably go ahead and get started.
Sure. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning on a Saturday at 9 a.m. We hope that you have your coffee or tea, that you're comfortable. And so today we're going to be talking to you about a few different things. First of all, we're going to talk to you about some Apple lessons and ways that you can incorporate apples into your activities, especially in the fall. And then we're going to talk to you about our monthly themes that we have going on. So just first, before I get started, my name is Stephanie Hospelhorn. I'm the education specialist here for Illinois Ag in the Classroom. I just started this position in January, so I worked in the office for about a month and a half, just around 2 months before being in quarantine and working from home for, I think it's 7 months now or somewhere. I think I hit my 6-month anniversary last month. So welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have a lot of fun stuff for you. Kevin and Chris, my bosses, they're going to be helping with any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat box, use that, and then Kevin and Chris will be watching that and trying to answer your questions as they come along. If there's something that they cannot answer, they will interrupt me and then I can, take a minute to answer that question. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Today, like I was saying, we're going to go through the monthly themed resources each month, starting right now in August, September, and October. So far, we have planned, we're doing monthly themes, and we have all sorts of resources that we have to share with you, and we're really excited about them. Then I'm going to go into more of what we're providing specifically for September. And then after that, I'm going to give you additional activities and, children's literature and things that you can provide as extension or supplemental resources. So the first thing is, and this is posted on all of our social media, which is right down here at the bottom, and I'll have this on another screen as well if you want to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or all of them. But what we're going to be posting and supplying for you guys each month is we're going to have weekly lessons. We will have classroom ag challenges. So some sort of ag challenge, whether it's just an experiment or STEM or something that you can do with your class. We have family engagement challenges to try to get families more involved and engaged with their students and with you as teachers. We have family cooking recipes. We're going to have virtual author visits and virtual farm field trips as well. So all of that stuff is going to be lumped into the theme. So right now in August, we have the back to school theme. September will be apples, and October will be pumpkins, and then we'll let you know about later after this. But I'm going to let Kevin talk to you guys a little bit about the field trips and the author visits.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the field trips. I'll be running the field trips the rest of the months here, but we knew that things are going to be different, and some of our key partners weren't going to be able to have their field trips. So we're starting off on the 27th, this Thursday, the 27th. We'll be showing a short video right at 1 o'clock. We'll start right at 1 o'clock to the Brookfield Zoo. They're finishing up a 5-minute video on their pollinator plots at the Brookfield Zoo. After we show the video, we'll be joined by either their entomologist or their groundskeeper to talk about pollinators. We can take live questions on Zoom from any classroom. So If you want to sign up for that, you can enter the form right up above there, and you'll get signed up for all of them. You don't have to re-sign up. Once you're in, you'll get the notification. If you can get there, you can get there. For your planning purposes, all of these field trips will be on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Central. They will be recorded so you can watch them next. So first off, pollinators, and because we like talking about good books too, this goes perfectly with Honeybee, and Stephanie's going to talk about it in just a couple of minutes, but Honeybee by Candace Fleming, she is an Illinois author. So our first field trip is to the pollinator plots at the Brookfield Zoo. Go ahead, Stephanie.
And I think Chris also posted the link in the chat feature. So if you want to click on that and you're excited, that's you can also utilize that.
Then as we get into apples, on September 3rd, the first Thursday in September, we're headed south down to the Belleville area to Brightgam Orchards, and the same thing. They've got a video. It's already in the can. They talk about it. Literally, the farmer walks you through the orchard, talks about what you see, and then the farmer will be, Tom Range will be joining us on Zoom on September 3rd. So we start with pollinators, then we go to apples, and then in October, we head to Central Illinois and to Heap's Giant Pumpkin Farm in Minooka, Illinois. Kaylee Heap and Heap's Giant Pumpkin Farm will be our pumpkin site. The other cool part about that, if you follow us on social media, Kaylee and her family on the farm, in addition to pumpkins, this is their opening weekend for sunflowers. So if you're in the mid-central Illinois area, northern central Illinois area, head out to Heap's Giant Pumpkin Farms and look at the beautiful sunflowers as well. So those are our field trips that we've got for August, September, and October. Stephanie, why don't you go on to the next one? We're highly encouraging you to take a look at this book, Applesauce Day by Lisa Amstutz. Applesauce Day by Lisa Amstutz, and Lisa will be joining us. She won't be reading the book, she'll be summarizing the book, but she will join and take questions. So we've got a book about apples to go along with our apple theme with an author. Really excited to have Lisa join us. I've known Lisa for several years, and I think you'll really enjoy Applesauce Day. Many of your county coordinators already have Applesauce Day if you do not have the book, but you don't need the book, but I think your students would enjoy the book Applesauce Day by Lisa Amstutz. So that's our Apple author interview. And then in October, I've grabbed 2 copies of the same one, but in October, we're going to interview Patty Tote from an Illinois author who wrote Pick a Pumpkin. So we're going to do pumpkins, apples, and pollinators as our field trips and our author visits. 1 o'clock on Thursday, you can join those at any time. They will be recorded and you can see what's going on. So, all right.
All right,
Stephanie,
thank you,
back
Kevin.
to you.
All right, so if we take a look at this, this is just our schedule for September. So like I said, every single week we're going to be releasing an activity. We'll release those on the Thursday prior to the week where that lesson can be done. And then that way, and you can do it at any time once it's released, you don't have to wait till the next week, but we wanted to release it so that it gave you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to kind of plan and get situated if you wanted to use it the following week. So that's how our weekly lessons are working. So this is just for September coming up. September 3rd, like Kevin just spoke about, is that the Apple Orchard field trip will be on September 3rd. That's Thursday, 1 o'clock. We are also releasing on September 3rd our family engagement challenge, which is to make applesauce from your apples, whether families are picking them or buying them from the grocery store. But that would be the challenge for that family engagement. We will also then be releasing the first lesson, which is going to be Apple Blossom Tree. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with the lessons in just a moment here. September 10th then would be our virtual author visit with Lisa Amstutz. Then that following week, we will also release our second lesson for September, which is going to be called Slice of Soil. And so actually I missed one, I'm sorry, September 3rd. So our lesson for that week is, oh no, I said Apple Blossom. I'm sorry. I messed up there. Okay. Slice of soil. Then September 15th, we are releasing our family cooking challenge, which is going to be to make apple smiles, which is pretty fun. And we will release that, the recipe and how to go about that during that week. September 17th, then we are going to release for the next week Apple Idiom. So tying in ELA with our science and agriculture. Then the next thing we're releasing is going to be the PD in your PJ. So just like this, where we're focusing on apples for this PD in your PJ, the next one is going to be all about pumpkins for October. And that's going to be led by Chris Wyant, who is our education manager. September 24th, then we're going to be releasing the October challenge. So each month, like I said, we're having these different challenges. So we're releasing the classroom challenge for October on September 24th, that last week, which is going to be to design and build a pumpkin transport machine. And then the last lesson for September is going to be all focused on apple browning. So I will go into those lessons if I can find my next button. So here's our graphics. We will be releasing the graphics through social media. So again, our family engagement challenge is the homemade applesauce. The Apple Smiles is our family cooking challenge. And then the classroom challenge for September is the apple stacking. Now, not only are we releasing all of this through our social media outlets, but we are also putting everything on our blog website. And I'll give you that website here in just a moment, but that's something that you can always check out. All of our recorded sessions that we've been doing throughout the summer, this one, everything is always uploaded to our blog. So I'm going to go ahead and get into our lessons. The very first lesson that we are pushing out for September is going to be released this Thursday, and it's called Apple Chain. And this is a really fun little lesson, elementary grade appropriate, but this is what it looks like is we're looking at sequencing. So we have different templates for the seed, the tree, the flower blossom, the pollinator, which is in this case a bumblebee, the apple, and then a ripe apple. And so when your students get done making this, and then we have red paper plates, it's super easy to make. They put all of the shapes inside, and then they can pull one out at a time and be able to rephrase that to you and be able to explain it. And the more they repeat that, we all know that the more they're going to remember it. So it's really cute and easy. We do have a video of this online. My nieces this summer, we recorded them making it, and my youngest niece is 5, and it took her only, I would say, 6 minutes to cut out all the shapes. And so it doesn't take a huge amount of time, but there's a lot of ways that you can already, prepare those shapes, have them cut out, anything like that. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this activity. For your older students, sequencing is always really good, as we know. And so you can have them label each shape. You can have them label it and then on the back side write a little bit of information about it. Maybe on the big apple on the back side, especially maybe your 5th grade students can write a poem about apples. So there's lots of ways that you can tie in ELA with this while they're learning about agriculture and science. The book that I paired with this is called From Seed to Apple. And it's just such a cute book. And so it kind of takes you back through that stage. What happens during each stage and how do we actually get apples from these little tiny seeds? And so that would be a great book to pair with this activity. Again, I just wanted to put this up as a reminder. This is going to be the following week is the virtual field trip. A really fun book to pair with the virtual field trip is called The Apple Orchard Riddle. And it's just such a cute story about a teacher taking his class to an apple orchard, and he tells them a riddle at the beginning. And so he wants them to figure it out. So the entire time they're at the apple orchard, the students are trying to figure out what the answer to the riddle is. And so that would be a really great book to pair with this virtual field trip. Okay, apple blossom tree. So this is our next lesson that we'll be pushing out for the week of September 7th. And I made this video. I'm going to show you. It's just it's a stop motion picture or video that kind of shows the materials you need and how you're supposed to do the activity and what it's supposed to look like at the end. So I'm going to play this. And Chris or Kevin, if the volume doesn't work, please let me know. Are we good? Okay, so that's just the apple blossom activity using construction paper, little tissue paper that you kind of crunch up to make it look like blossoms. That video will be available online. Once we're done with this and I upload everything to our blog site, this video and then another video that I have will be posted up there, along with the apple chain video that I had made previously, but I did not show today. But that's a fun little activity. It shows what the difference between an apple tree is in the spring and the fall. Super easy materials, and it's pretty fun to do. Whoop, okay. Our next apple activity is called Apple Idioms. And so tying in that ELA subject with this. And so this is just going to be kind of worksheet based, trying to understand, well, what is an idiom and what does the phrase mean versus what it actually is trying to say. So one of the examples is one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So little things like that, tying in ELA and then also having that ag background. So that is the activity for the week of September 21st. The next one is then called Slice of Soil. And so this is not necessarily focused on apples primarily, but looking at how we use our land for agriculture and how much land on our planet do we actually have to grow crop. And so this is the activity that is going to be made for September 14th. Oh, I put those out of order. I apologize. So this one would be before the apple idioms. A Handful of Dirt is a really awesome book to tie with this that talks all about the dirt and the health of the soil and everything like that. So I'm going to show this video real quick. This is just how to do this activity. Okay, so that activity, whoops, that activity you can do with many grade levels. I mean, you could even do it with high school students and they would learn something. So you could pair it with fractions, start talking about fractions. You could talk about soil nutrition. You could talk about apples since you're using an apple as a model. You could talk about different models and the sizes. You could talk about climate and weather patterns and why we grow our food in certain areas and, you know, things like that. So there's all sorts of different content that you can pair with just this one activity. And then again, if you want to use that video as a part of your virtual learning or anything, feel free. It's going to be posted on our blog this afternoon. Oops, okay. Our next activity is called Browning Apples. And so this is kind of fun. This is more of a scientific inquiry experiment where you're wondering, okay, well, we slice our apples and after a certain amount of time, they start to turn brown and they kind of start looking nasty. So how could we prevent that from happening? What's the best method to keep the apples from turning brown? So this is going to be the activity for the final week of September. And so you're basically just using different variables. You have your control and then you slice the apple and put them into different variables. And then you test that and make your observations. You can make your hypothesis and predictions. We do have a scientific inquiry worksheet, which will be posted on the blog for all of this today as well, for your older students to really go through that process of the scientific method, making those predictions, really thinking out what questions they want answered, and then collecting their data, drawing their experiment and their models, making sure they're labeling everything, and then drawing their conclusions based on the evidence that they have from their experiment. With younger students, you don't necessarily have to do all of that paperwork. You could have them draw the picture. You could have them draw a comic strip based off of it, you know, from the apple's perspective. Anything like that would be just fine, or just doing the activity and seeing it for themselves. So that would also be fantastic. Again, when we post all of our weekly lessons, they do come with the instructions, the standards that are addressed, both Common Core and NGSS. They come with teacher resources, so additional extension ideas, things like that. And then if we have worksheets that go along with them, we will provide those as well. All right, so that's everything that is planned for the month of September. So now I just have some additional activities that you could match, you could extend any of this, you could supplement, however you want to use this. But this is called Apple Copter, and it's kind of looking at motion and force when you're looking at gravity and things like that. And so this is kind of a fun activity. It's got our little apple right here. A great book to pair this with is called Newton and Me. And so just our character right here and his little dog Newton are, you know, starting to make observations, and they're talking about gravity and all of that. So when this is the template that is a part of the activity, and it actually comes 2 per sheet of 8 by 11 paper, and you just fold on the dotted lines, you cut on the solid lines, and when you're done, it's going to look like this. And when you release it, see if this one works. You couldn't really see it, but it looks very similar to the motion of the seeds from maple trees, those little helicopters and how they twirl down. So you could add weight to the bottom of it, add a paper clip and maybe some weight. Maybe you're tying additional paper clips. What is going to change the speed of it falling from, you know, point A and then landing? You could add in a fan to replicate the wind and say, okay, well, how does wind affect something that's going to fall? So you have all these different opportunities to differentiate and deepen their understanding of motion and force. So that's a fun little, it's called Apple Copter. Apples to Oregon is just such a cute book about our main character and her family are traveling. They're going out west. So you can definitely tie this into westward expansion. And this is just such a fantastic book. So for our older students, you could have a STEM activity where they have to design their own wagon. You know, what supplies are they taking? What type of land do they have to cross? Is it going to be gravelly? Are there mountainous areas? Are there a lot of, you know, large rivers? How would they move their family out west? So you could definitely have a STEM activity based on making their own wagon. To tie this into an ELA activity, maybe your students are friends with our main character, and she sent a letter to talk to your students about what's, you know, her and her family have been going through. And so your students could write a letter back. So that gives you the opportunity to talk about sentence structure, letter, you know, format, and all of that fun stuff. So those are a couple different suggestions, but this is such a fantastic book. We love it. All right, a sub-theme of apples is pollination. And so we know that apple trees really rely on our pollinators. And so pollination is just such a fantastic theme that you can talk about with basically anything. So I have Honeybee up here as one of the books. It follows the perspective of this honeybee. And it's, oh my gosh, it is just such a fantastic book. It is one of my favorites. Lots of scientific words in there. It really is a great way to explain the life of a honeybee and what it actually does, and how many miles it flies, and what it does at each stage of its life. Very, very great book. Flight of the Honeybee is another really fun book, and then Honeybee Man, kind of looking at our honeybee keepers. An activity that you could do with this, especially for older students, I would say probably 4th grade or higher, is to design their own pollinator box. Many apple orchards, a lot of different agricultural businesses actually make pollinator box to help promote the pollinators to have a good yield that year. So you could have them design and create their own pollinator boxes. Along with pollination, we have the monarch butterfly migration, which is just so fantastic. And so you could show them pictures. There are different websites where you can track it. And we actually just put out, I believe that was Thursday, 2 days ago, we put out the butterfly and pollinator activities. And so there's information about monarch migration there. The Senorita Mariposa and Uncle Monarch, these are all based on the monarch butterfly migration, but they also tie in the different cultures. So we're looking at, in Mexico, those different cultures, and in Uncle Monarch, especially the monarch migration happens at the same time during the same week as they celebrate the Day of the Dead. And so you can pull in some cultural themes there as well, and talk about that aspect. This little activity that I have posted up here was something that I've heard a lot about even when I was teaching. And I just think it's so great to really show students how pollination works. And so we're looking at, you have different bags set up, and they have Cheetos, the puffy Cheetos in there. And then each student has a little cutout of a pollinator. You could use a bee, a butterfly, you know, make it whatever you're studying. And then each bag has a flower on there. So they touch the Cheeto puff, and then or they can hold it however you want to do it. As they're flying around from flower to flower, then they touch the front of the bag, and then they go and fly to the next one, and they touch the front of the bag. And so then by the end of the activity, when you're done, you should see that the flowers have a whole bunch of that powdery residue from the Cheetos. And so then you can talk about how, you know, pollen is really sticky, and especially the bees and the butterflies, they have little hairs and fibers that the pollen gets stuck to. And you can show them pictures of bees and butterflies that are just absolutely covered in pollen, which is just so cute. But it really is a good way to show how that process of pollination works in a really fun way. And you could also, just to make it a little bit more personable, have the pollinators just black and white, and then you can have them design and color it themselves, whether you want it to be, you know, more realistic, color it like this, you know, butterfly or, you know, monarch or like a bumblebee, or maybe they choose colors that represent different parts of themselves. You know, color the wings blue if you have a dog and green if you have a cat, and then that way they can definitely go around and share and find those similarities and differences between themselves and their classmates. Another really fun activity is what we have is bag butterfly. Super easy. This is just a Ziploc bag, some colored tissue paper that we had cut into squares. Not that they have to be squares, you can just, you know, cut it up, and then a pipe cleaner. So you put the tissue paper in there, you kind of squeeze it over, pinch it, and then put the pipe cleaner around it. I always twist the antennas because I think it looks cute. You can, in this case, I have black and orange tissue paper to represent the monarch butterfly. So you could definitely use that if you're going to be looking into the monarch butterfly migration and things like that. Or you can do different species of butterflies. Or again, you can use different colors of tissue paper, just like I explained about coloring this bee. You know, put in yellow if you have a sister, and red if you have a brother, and, you know, to try to make it personal. So that's, you know, something that you could do, again, to get your students more comfortable with themselves and find the similarities between themselves and their classmates, which is always really fun. So there's our bag butterfly. This was the activity that was just posted, so you can find that on our blog and on our website, which I will show you here in just a moment. And then we have tree grafting. So this is the last activity that I have, and then I'm going to show you some of our other resources that we have. But we have our tree grafting, which is appropriate for our older students when we're looking at how long it takes for an apple tree to actually grow and start producing fruit. And so many different agricultural commodities, I mean, even pecans and different trees go through grafting. We have the farmers that will graft their trees to help, you know, produce that yield that they need. So this is a really cool activity. This is using a carrot. And so then you're just showing that grafting process. There's lots of videos online that are appropriate for junior high level and high school level that go through that process, and they talk about it. And then again, this is actually an activity that was from our National Ag in the Classroom website, and it was for pecans, but since apple trees also use grafting, it's the same exact process. This would be a fun one. And then you can even talk about carrots since you're using carrots. So that's also a really fun thing. And this is a picture of an apple tree, apple blossom being grafted. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears, and I'm sorry if I'm talking very fast. We have some really awesome resources that are available to you. And so we have ag mags and readers. So this is a picture of our ag mag. It's our updated Apple ag mag, and I have one right here. And you can get these as classroom sets. You just need to contact your county coordinator and they can get these for you. And I will show you in just a moment where to find who your county coordinator is. I'll show you our website where you can find these online. All of our ag mags are interactive online. And so if you don't have a paper copy, or since we're moving into more of a virtual world right now and everything's so strange, you can go online and there's little symbols, whether it's a little leaf or a little video camera. And if you click on the leaf or video camera, it's going to take you to those different sources, primary, secondary sources. So we have the leaf represents more of a website, and then the video camera is going to be a video file, probably YouTube, of farmers talking, you know, anything like that. And so this is our Apple Ag Mag. On the back of all of our Ag Mags, we have what we call a career corner. And so we have interviewed Illinois farmers, business people who are in that related field, a field related to whatever the ag mag is focused on. And so you can use that again as another resource in your class to start talking about different careers that are ag related that they might not even know exists. So that's our ag mag. Our readers are very similar. but they are a little bit more condensed. We have this reader that I have up here is for higher level. All of our ag mags are roughly 4th grade base, so that's the type of language that you're going to be seeing is around 4th grade, but again, you can differentiate for higher or lower. Our readers are a little bit higher, and then we do have our youth readers, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, and those can be found on our website, which is just agintheclassroom.org. Okay, that's not the slide I want just yet. I want to show you, let me unshare my screen, or let's see. Can you see my website, Kevin? Or do I need, okay. Let me unshare and then reshare. Okay. Okay, we can see it. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is our website right here, agintheclassroom.org. And if you want to search for any of our lessons, you can type it right here in the search box. If you wanted apples, just type in apple, and we have all sorts of different booklets that have all of those lessons in there and additional lessons that I did not go over today. If you click right here, well, first I'm going to show you your county coordinator. So this second link, contact your county agricultural literacy coordinator. It's going to take you to this page, and then you're going to click a contact list, and you'll go to your county, find your county, and then your coordinator, your county coordinator's information is all right here. They are more than happy to get you any of our resources, our ag mags, any books that you're interested in. You can ask them questions about that. They are more than willing to come into your classroom or virtually meet your classroom to do activities. So please contact them and see what they can offer for you. If we go back to this main page, we have teacher resources, and you'll click on that, and then you have ag mags and ag readers. So if you click on your ag mags, we have all of these different ag mags, and they're all interactive. And so let's say we're going to click, let's do, we'll just click careers. So it would bring you to the online version, and right here we have a secondary resource, so we could click on that. Except for, of course, that one I clicked on is unavailable, and we will update that. But we have all of these, tons of information. Here would be another link that you could click on. So you can definitely do an online web quest. You can have them go through and just search different things, write down information that they found. Anything like that would be awesome. And then we have our ag readers. And so let's click on apples. If you wanted to print, we do have black and white, or we have the color version. And so it's a little bit different of a format, a little bit more condensed. And we have all of this information on here. So spotlight on careers, we have definitions, we have timeline. So tying in that social studies, tying in ELA. So it is perfect for that. And then hey Kevin, where are the youth readers? Oh, right down here. So our young reader fact sheets right down here. So if you are a lower level, again, we have all of these different fact sheets. I'm going to click on apples. And so it's very, it's made for our younger readers. And let's see if I can scroll. So apples are a fruit, apples grow on trees, and most apples are picked by hand. Apples are fat-free, all of these. So they're just very straightforward facts. So very much appropriate for our younger age group, but that's definitely something that you could use for those younger kiddos.
Just as a note, Stephanie, the Apple Ag Mag is brand new. It came in last week, hot off the press. The coordinators are getting those, and we are working with our IT department to get it up. We'd hope that it was up for today, but it's not. We'll get on that and chase those down and make sure it is up shortly. But contact your county ag lit coordinator to get copies of those. Looking for something to read at home with those family challenge activities, send them home. If you've got kids in the class, send them home. So, or if you're doing a remote learning and they're doing bag drops or something, stick them in there as something else for your students to read at home.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we have so many different topics, all ag related. So those would be awesome. Pollinator right here for this month with the back to school and pollinator. You can, again, tie in pollinator with apples, with, you know, pumpkins, with anything. We have water, trees, soil. There's so many really cool ag mags that we have right there. I did want to show you one more thing. If you click on teacher resources and then go down to lesson booklets, again, we have a lot of different activities that you can find here, and they're just kind of split up into different categories. We are in the beginning stages of redesigning our website and all of our lessons. So hopefully 2021 will be our year. But for right now, this is where we hold all of our stuff. Any of our newer activities that won't be able to be found up here. I don't think Apple Copter's up there. A few more that we have will be on our blog. So some of the newer ones that we've been talking about, but all of the ones that are for our monthly themes can be found on our blog, which I'm going to show you our blog. All right, this is the Beyond the Barn Door. My thing keeps getting in the way. Okay, so when you scroll down, this is just our main page. You can find just our graphics and information about the PD in your PJs, field trips, author visits. So right now we are just now starting. Next week, we'll just now start be promoting for September. We've been promoting for our August stuff, and our authors field trips and PD have already all been out there. So that's another place that you can find that information. Our weekly lesson plans are right here, which is another source. And then up here at the top, we have these drop-down menus. So fall 2020, when we add the weekly lessons, they are going to be in these different categories. So right now there's nothing for September because we're promoting them week by week. But for August, there will be the two August back to school lessons. Any of our teacher training sessions that we did this summer, if that's something that you're interested in going back and watching for additional information, we did, you know, history, water and weather, things like that. So if you want to go back and watch and learn more about some of the other activities and topics, that will all be found right there in teacher training. Field trips, we've done a lot of virtual field trips over the summer. So if that's another thing that you're interested in finding, then you can find those right there. Any of our videos, we did a whole series on Illinois eggs in the classroom, which is a lot of teachers missed out on incubating their eggs this past spring. And so luckily, Chris took one for the team and raised little eggs and chickens, and he's got a coop going. And so all of his videos where he and his son were explaining the process, looking at them, they did all sorts of really cool stuff. You can find right there if that's something you're interested in. Our Grow With Us is another video series from Chris and his son looking at different agriculture aspects of living on a small farm. Right this very minute is looking at, again, people with careers within ag, our farmers around Illinois, talking about, you know, what they're doing at that very minute. They have a lot of information about their farms and how things are run. And then our book reviews. We are, you know, video recording book reviews based on the books that we really love that are ag themed and ag appropriate and are just awesome books. A lot of them Illinois authors. Everyday Ag, this is everything that we did in the past spring. And then Hungry Planet, we have all sorts of stuff. So that is our blog site where you're gonna be able to find all of our stuff that we've been promoting. So with that, I'm gonna set it out so that if we have questions, I'll check the chat. I'm sure Chris and Kevin have been taking care of this.
Yeah, it looks like we're all caught up. For teachers, one thing I will let you know, our blog site just underwent a facelift. Same stuff. If you were there this summer or earlier last year as school ended up, Same stuff is all there, just a fresher look. We found the WordPress site updated, and we were able to add some niceties to it, but everything is still there. We are recording this session, and it will be housed with all of the information under teacher training. So if you'll look at that, it's under teacher training. That's where you'll find this. Take the rest of the day off. I know you're thinking about stuff. This is all September things that we're releasing, but it'll all be up there by Monday. We'll let you know when that is available. Same thing with our field trips. Both the author visits and our field trips will be housed on the blog site under field trips. So that's where you'll find our trip to the Brookfield Zoo, the trip to the orchard, the trip to the pumpkin patch, and our interviews with the authors. While Stephanie's looking at the blog site, wanted to mention that today's session is being sponsored by Illinois Farm Bureau and your local county farm bureaus. We're really excited for their support. They are huge supporters of our program. And I'm going to give you a hint. If you fill out the session, the county farm bureaus and the Illinois Farm Bureau are providing a prize for all of you. So even if you don't need the PDs, make sure you fill out the information, because there will be a special prize sent to everyone who participates. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you fill out the prize, you're going to get something cool shipped to you by the Illinois Farm Bureau. So thank you for that. But we need your address. That's why. So you have to fill out the little form. I'm not sending it to everybody who signed up. Only you who signed up. And if Eric, you still haven't found any fuzzy pink slippers, there'd be a special prize for you too, but don't see any of those yet. So I wanted to think of that. Also, we will do a couple of drawings for you. We've got 3 books, 3 copies of the book, 3 copies, 1 copy of Honeybee and 2 of Applesauce Day. We'll do a random drawing for that as well. So make sure you fill out the form. That's how we'll do that. Your county coordinators have most of these resources. Most of them have the new books that we're talking about. No need for you to buy them. Get on their list and contact them. Borrow the books, all right? These are also trade books. You should find them in your library as well. So make sure you get those. All the other books, Raymond Beal's Handful of Dirt. Raymond Beal, great Illinois author from the Champaign area. That book has been around for 15 years, 20 years. I will bet you dollars to donuts. Every county farm bureau, every county coordinator has a copy of A Handful of Dirt. Borrow it from your county coordinator. I do know that a number of you, some of your schools, if you can't bring people in or they can't drop stuff off, some places have to be quarantined. Contact your county. They'll make sure to get it to you so you can quarantine it. Do whatever you need to do, but contact your county to make sure that's that. Folks, just like you, we're making this stuff up as we go. We've got a plan for August, September, and October. Stephanie talked a little bit about our August materials. We did do back to school materials as well as a sub-theme of pollinators. So you'll find that information that we released. I'm really excited about the pollinator migration. We are just starting to see monarch butterflies start to migrate. And there's a great lesson that we released that we dropped on Thursday about monarch migration. So that's our theme and our sub-theme. Stephanie talked about apples and conservation. Pumpkins and farm machinery, that's our sub-theme in October. So we've got pumpkins as well as farm machinery. I told you we are taking the field trip to the pumpkin patch and to the apple orchard. As a special bonus feature, both Natalie Pratt and Charlie Rogie have agreed to do videos of harvest. When corn and soybean harvest get going, Charlie and Natalie are going to film videos for us. If we can sneak them out of class at 1 o'clock on Thursday, they're going to join us live as well on a Zoom call. Don't know what their schedules are going to hold, but that's what we've got planned. So Stephanie talked about our family cooking activities. We understand in this day and age, you're not going to do any snack activities in class. Send those home to the parents. Give them something to do. Send that AgMag home or reference it that they can do that activity together. Same thing with the at-home challenge and the, it's just a challenge. Just try and build it. and the classroom challenge. So those can all be done at home as other activities for families to get together to learn something about apples, about your theme, to read a little bit more about it, and just have a little bit of fun. So our activity that we released on Thursday for the challenge was to take all those school supplies people built and build a catapult. So it's pencils, some rubber bands, and a little bit of cardboard, and seeing how far you can fling a cotton ball or something like that. But build a catapult. It's a STEM activity with your school supplies. Plus, we talk a little bit about where the pencil came from. Most pencils, the good pencils, teachers, you know there are good pencils and bad pencils. The good pencils are made with California cedar, and rubber bands made from rubber. That's a plant as well. So just some activities that are there. We want to continue to help you and help meet your needs, see what you need. So if you need something, please let us know. If you've got an idea, let us know. We are looking ahead to more field trips and author visits in November and December. We've got those on the line. We've got those lined up and getting ready to announce those. So lots of activities. Great job, Stephanie. Did you think of anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so.
Any last questions in the chat? Let's see. Careers? Oh yeah, 8th grade career stuff. We've got it. I don't know if, I think it's Lisa. I can't remember. Lisa Forsman maybe, who just sent that. Shoot me your email, and not your email, Lisa. Shoot me your postal address, and I'll drop some stuff in the mail to you for your 8th grade career class. So, but folks, with that, Chris has posted the review session that you can get your certificate for, as well as everyone fill it out for a special prize from our sponsor, the Illinois Farm Bureau, and your county farm bureaus. If there aren't any questions, we'll hang out here for a couple of minutes. This will be posted. It takes a while for this video to render. Then I got to convert it to a YouTube. And it's Saturday. Y'all have a great day. It's Leslie. There you go. Sorry, Leslie Forsman. You guys have a great day. Look for this on Monday. We will shoot you an email when it's all back up. If you want to go, and relook at this stuff or find the lessons and activities, that will all be up on Monday. So. Thanks, Stephanie, for hosting us. Folks, we look forward to seeing you on Thursday. We're going to the Brookfield Zoo. So come and join us at the Brookfield Zoo with the pollinators. I think that'll be an interesting time. And then the following week, we're headed on our field trip to the apple orchard. Again, we're taking the field trips just like you all should be, but this is what we're going to do. So we're hoping to do that. And our Oklahoma, look, we've got somebody from Oklahoma here too. Hey, Oklahoma, I'm not going to send you a prize, but send me a thing and I'll shoot you a pack of Ag Mags. All right. So with that, folks, have a great Saturday. Good luck with the school year.
Yeah, hope to see you at the pumpkin Ag or PD. That would be awesome. And I will stop sharing. There we go.
Thank you so much. This was fabulous.
Oh, yes, of course. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, we got Michigan and Pennsylvania. Perfect.
Ah, that is awesome.
And Oklahoma, cool. Great job, 46. 46 folks on a Saturday morning, Stephanie.
Yeah, that's
Great
awesome.
job.
That is awesome. Oh, man. Perfect.
hey, Chris, I've stopped recording and it is processing, and it depends on how long it takes for this to render to YouTube. If I can get it here in the next half hour, I'll poke around. I got some other stuff to do while I'm here, but I'll probably try and leave before 11 because Saturday, if I can get it, I'll get it to you and we can post then. Or just go ahead and post what you've got and then leave a spot in there that says Zoom recording will go here. We can get it later.
Well, I've got it saved as a draft, so you can just, whenever it's done, just pop it in there, and then you can just hit publish. So it's
okay.
that's all,
You've got
yeah,
it as a draft. Perfect. So
yeah,
I'll go in
yep,
and look around
yep.
at that.
Yep. So it's all ready for you. Yep.
It
Perfect.
shows that you're still recording, by the way. I don't know if that makes a